Howdy everyone, and welcome to Ryan Ready. In today's video I'm going to be testing and unboxing the TI pocket knife by Big Idea Designs. I want to thank Neil for letting me borrow this knife so I can unbox it and test it for y'all, the viewers. And so just moving forward, this isn't my knife, so I'm not going to be as harsh on it. But yes, I'm going to be unboxing it, testing it for about a week, and give you my final thoughts. So let's get into it. Alrighty y'all, let's get on into this. So, opening it, ooh, there she is, that nice titanium TI pocket knife. Let's get into the goodies first. Got your little edible packet here, and in this little frame we have a spare bit, okay, and then looks like just a microfiber cloth. Yeah, just a little something to wipe it down, and then no stick. Oh, there's a little sticker in here. It's stuck on something. Oh, there we go. Big Idea Designs sticker, and then here's something else in here. Thank you for your support. So this is the TI pocket knife, as previously stated. It is a frame lock. So it is not a liner lock. Frame lock means it's part of the frame, blah, blah, blah. It does have a thumb hole here, although, I mean, if you hold it with two hands or you have really small thumbs, you can get in there, but man, that is almost impossible. Yeah, so I think it's more of a flipper there. And the flipping action is just so nice. It is on ceramic ball bearing, so that's why it is such a smooth flip here. Let's see if it's centered. Get that out of the way. She is centered. You need a little bit of wiggle there. I don't know if I can even pull up. No, not really. There is a little bit of wiggle room there, but not by much. Let's kind of get into some other things here. So S35VN hollow grind for the blade steel, and of course titanium scales, or I guess frame here technically. Deep carry pocket clip, which is reversible, and then this entire knife is by one screw. So I guess there's one screw to take everything apart, which I'll probably record here in a second. But I mean, that is such a smooth action. Does not feel that heavy. I've heard people say that's a kind of a heavy knife, but I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it does have some heft to it. I'm just gonna compare it with my. Yeah, definitely more heavy than even the 940. So it's a little bit heavier, but man, that flipper action is just so clean. Yeah, so let's get into some more bits and pieces here. All right, so let's tear this knife down. So it did take me a couple tries to try and get this completely taken apart. They say it's one screw, and maybe I'm doing this wrong, but it definitely requires two screws for me, because you need, first off, the T10 for the main screw, and then you need a little screw right here, which I believe, what do I have it as? I have it as a T5. You don't have to take off the lanyard though, luckily. So for me, first off, we're going with the T5 at the bottom here. You're going to remove this all the way, make sure you have a little nice spot to put them. And your left, this is how you can change the pocket clip. So here's just the pocket clip, and then you can pop this out and then flip it if you want it to go on the left side. And then you would, of course, clamp it down more, put this in, and then screw it in. And that is your left side carry. But to get the actual frame, scales, whatever you want to call it, off, you have to take this piece off, because this holds the two together. So once you're done with that, you can get your little T10 here. Get your, no, other way. Get your T10 and go to town. Oops, do the other side. One little screw, and then voila, you are in. So this little piece here actually comes off for the lanyard hole, so you could technically remove it. Not really, actually, come to think of it, but yeah, just a small little piece here. And then you are left with, get this out, the actual knife, and then the two, I guess, frames, scales. I don't know what you would exactly call these, just one strip of metal. So yeah, so that is how you take it off. There's your ceramic ball bearings there. They're very lubed when they come out of the factory, so you don't need to worry about that. So yeah, not that hard to break down, especially when you figure it out. But let's put it back together, then I'll go about my week testing it. Alrighty, so I've been carrying this knife for about a week now, and I've definitely come to some conclusions based upon carrying it solely for about a week. There's no other knife in my pocket, just this one. And a lot of them aren't that positive, so yeah, well, I guess let's get into it. First off, it's a chunky knife. It is a little bit heavy, and of course that is because it's titanium. I understand that. Just kind of not my preference, just something that y'all should know is that it has some heft to it, and it will kind of weigh your pockets down. When I was at work, when I had a jacket on, it would weigh that jacket down a bit to the right side. Nothing too major. That's not my real big issue with it. The issues I have with it is, first off, with that titanium, if your hands are sweaty, if you're at the gym or you're after the gym, out in the Texas heat where I'm at, or I don't know, anything that makes your hands sweaty or wet, this knife will be a little bit harder to grasp. The titanium handles are smooth, so that is what you'll be feeling. So at times when I pull it out to open it, it'll be a little bit slippery. Nothing really concerning about falling out or just having the knife slip out of my hands, but just something to be aware of. The jimping also, or I guess this is a different topic, the jimping on the blade is minimal and is almost no point in being there. It's really smooth and it's not that far down into the knife. So when I go and grasp it, there's not much of just, I guess, abrasion or much jimping to stop my thumb. It is a little bit, but really not much at all. I wish they would gone in a little bit deeper into the blade there. And the two major things for this knife for me is, first off, number one, this thumb hole right here, you are not opening. The only time I can open this knife is if I have it in one hand. Try to figure out how to hold this for the camera, and then we'll do it this way. If I hold it in my left hand and then really dig in my thumb and open it, there's no way you're going to be doing this one. I just did it. Wow, holy shoot. That's the first time. So one time I have been able to open this with my thumb, and then I can't do it anymore. Maybe because it didn't lock in all the way. Yeah, I can only hold it and really dig in there. It's just almost impossible because it's such a small opening right there. The handle kind of blocks it, and then also just the thumb hole itself is really small. So that's an issue for me. I just don't really see a point on it. I mean, if you're going to do it fast, then yeah, there's no way you can get that. You're only going to be flipping it. But that leads into my second issue is the thumb hole the access to the thumb hole creates an uneven surface when you're holding the knife. The best way to describe this is there is a difference. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. The frame lock is higher than the access to the thumb hole. Or you might be able to see it that way. So when I have the knife in my hands, there is not only a pressure point on my index finger where I'm holding the knife, because only really the frame lock is touching my index finger, but it can also roll. So this is kind of the knife flat on my finger here. So this is only touching that frame lock, and then this is flat. So that's kind of a concern for me. Not, again, huge, but it's an annoyance. Like, if I can't access the thumb hole, then it's a domino effect. Now I'm having issues when I hold the knife, and I'm having a pressure point right there, because that frame lock it's a pretty small area to be pressing up against your index finger. And that's my main concern with this, that it's not, like, I just wish you would have gotten rid of the thumb hole and then had it be an even surface, and I would have way less concerns with it. Also a concern, a small one, is that over the past 2 days, the actual blade has really loosened up. You'll kind of see in the clip here, there's a lot of blade play. Also, I recorded this at work, so sorry for the horrible angle. But there's a lot of blade play just in 2 days. And of course I can use Loctite and I can tighten it up. That's no issue. It's just the fact that over a course of 2 days, I can just move that blade a whole bunch towards that frame lock side. So that's my take on the knife. $220 for it, and I'm not confident in recommending it. If this is your style of knife, this kind of chunky titanium or metal, then go for it. But I think there's just too many issues for me to recommend this knife. Again, the only saving grace for me is that flipping action, because it's just so smooth. But I really wish they would get rid of that thumb hole, and it would make the blade, or the knife itself, a whole lot better. So thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.